Hey guys, and welcome to today's show. Today we're going to talk about what is the big problem at Manchester United. Some of we all know that something isn't right at the club, and today I'm going to talk about not so much about the transfers, but about players and the kind of interest in the club. So hang on and see what I can see, what maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjær can make the club better, or what needs to change to reach to the next level. As we all know, there are problems, but what kind of problems are that causing the problems in the club? So up right here, there will come a lineup, and that is the latest lineup versus FC Barcelona. As you saw in my first video, I had a pro and con video. There I went through some thoughts that could make it hard for Manchester United to beat Barcelona, and I had right in all of them. When I looked, I couldn't watch the game, but when I looked through the highlights and heard the analysis from my TV and well, from the Swedish analysis, there they have the Bojan Djordjic that works for Manchester United, and he said almost the same kind of stuff I said, but I was more precise in that I said, as you all know, that I have been in Barcelona, I have been in England, I have been at many places. I know the differences, and well, that I miss a lot of Manchester United that have been not only under Ole Gunnar, it has been under Mourinho, it has been under Luis van Gaal, and it has been under David Moyes. Um, we can start early like that in David Moyes. There were miss of interest. That is what the team do miss the most. Interest, heart, showing that they love to be at the club. It is only a few players that I see right now that shows it. Um, I would say Lindelöf is one of them that shows it at the moment. He's not the latest two games, not really much that I want to see, but I know he wants to show more for the club. But I don't see any player that really brings out the top level of the club that Manchester United should be. Well, Ander Herrera is also one of them that I feel have always felt that shows the most more interest for the club, show and prove for the club. But then we are going to the other side of it as well, that is he's leaving for PSG, as other close sources says from The Guardian, Sky Sports, and many other really strong sources. So he might join PSG, so we might not have him. He has also almost 1 month left on his contract, so we don't have any player that can maybe get the players to prove that level. Then the most player that I have been most disappointed on this season, and I think for many as well, I don't want to bring any harsh words to him or anything like that, but it has been Ashley Young. I have watched since the early start of the season. I felt that Ashley Young hasn't really reached up to that level that he should be at, even if he is a captain or something like that. And that passing he made um, at the Camp Nou was proof that it wasn't really that high of a level. He hasn't reached that level that I really hoped for him, and I feel also already this season that he should leave. It is sad, but that is what I feel, that Ashley Young should leave. It is time for him. We need to find and maybe new younger left back or right back, especially a right back now when Antonio Valencia is leaving. I miss also Antonio Valencia also in the lineup. I feel I know that he's injured, but I feel that I still will miss him as well. That he has still the captaincy and the experience that we will miss in the club because of the players that are playing right now. They play with no soul. I feel when they come to the pitch, they don't show and prove that they should be at the club. If we look through from older lineups that will come up here, we can see there as well that they are big names, but they're not proving enough of, like, what you say, fire to the team. And I get also many requests that ask me, why don't we sign these star players? Well, I understand that star players can help a team, but then you need to think on the personal terms as well, and that does Ole Gunnar Solskjær really well at the moment that I have seen of him from the English and the Swedish Norwegians introduce. That it says the personality is the most important, and I feel that is why many players will leave this summer as well. As I said before in many other videos, we Scandinavians look at personalities. Personalities are the most important. If you don't think much more glory about yourself, or that you want to bring something very much into you, it often fallen apart and the group dynamic doesn't work, and that we see a lot with Paul Pogba at the moment. That is the kind of the problems of the club. But the biggest problem of them all, I would say, is Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez is the biggest problem in the team. Since Alex Sanchez has joined the club, it has been a lot of problems in the team. For the first is the wages. His wages are around 350,000 pounds per week, and that is a lot of money. And I understand the other players that plays a lot much more, that they ask for more money, and that they want much more. But then they are also that's it all also must know. The board has a limit of money that they can give out under that period of time, and that is why the money doesn't really give out to the other players, and that they maybe ask for, and it ends up that players leaves, like the Under Herrera. Then we have with David De Gea that he wants also a new contract. Maybe why he doesn't perform that he used to do, as he has shown now under the Champions League, under the games, the recent games in the Premier League. Those are the problems that is creating up more problems because of Alexis Sanchez asks for so much wages, and it's also not only a problem in the club, it's a problem for the rest of Europe as well. And you may be asking me, why is that it's a problem for the rest of Europe? Well, no one can truly sign Alexis Sanchez because of his wages. His wages are also too high, so the clubs are not really interested in bringing him to the club because of his demands more money, and that is why he will be a lot harder to sell. And that is also a key problem for Manchester United. The third problem with Alexis Sanchez is that he's not gaining a game, play a lot of games for Manchester United, and does not come up to that level that he hoped for. And that is a big problem as well. So those are the kind of problems that is creating up even more problems around the club, not only for the players but also the board and also for other clubs in Europe. And it becomes a more inflation in the type of the European market, and that is a case of problems. It creates a lot of problems, and that is why I am more against superstar signings. You gain your problems and you give not a lot of you don't really reach that kind of level that you want with a team that you hope for. And that has not only been shown under Mourinho, Luis van Gaal, David Moyes, all of the successors of the Sir Ferguson, it has been the same kind of problems because of the wages and the prices, because of there become an inflation in the markets. Well, I got the question also that why we don't sign any superstars. It is because of inflation, and maybe the player don't want to join himself. Those are often the big key parts because of the signing of superstars. Of course I want superstars, but I also want lesser known players. Those are the players that we really need in the team, I feel, right now. We have superstars, but we really also players that can create and want to play for the budge for Manchester United. And that are the kind of problems that we are creating right now with the kind of Alexis Sanchez signings or Paul Pogba signings. That is the problem with the club at the moment. That is creating more problems around us and for ourselves. And that is why I feel, following Ole Gunnar Solskjær's words, that we need to rebuild, but we need the right players with the right personalities. And that is what the club miss at the moment. Because of it is a lot of the money, and players are unhappy, and the contract extensions doesn't work. Those are the problems. And as Sir Alex Ferguson did, he didn't sign superstars, he created them. He created superstars. He bought lesser known players and made them superstars. And that is really not that I feel that people don't really think anymore. Well, we sign a superstar, and then afterwards they come and like, well, it is chaos in the club. Well, you get that kind of chaos when you sign big egos because of they think of themselves and not the whole team. And that is kind of problem with the whole team at the moment, that we have too many egos. We don't have any team players or leaders. And that is what the club miss at the moment. Then we can talk about the back line and the right winger are, of course, also two really important places that we need more players at. But those are the key points that Manchester United need to look at most. Personalities, I feel. That is the most important. If we need to rebuild again, we need to rebuild again, but we can't really sign superstars, I feel. But then need like leadership, or like can give an effort to the team that this make the group in a better place. That is why I'm mostly against superstar signings, as I said before. But this was my kind of roundup. Why is there a problem in the club? And I hope you enjoy it. We'll soon make this mini videos again, but this was a long one to give you a full roundup about the team. I hope you get a great Easter, and happy Easter to you all from GL Manchester United Transfers. See you in the next video. See ya.